Okay, so I'm going to take a second just to consider the energies of today. I feel like the masculine energy is considering like buying like a small gift or a few small gifts as a nonverbal gesture of apology, or like coming forward with a statement of intention that is obvious but doesn't require them to talk. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, so there's always this like hesitant feeling, communication feeling I get from the masculine energy that's been fairly consistent. But there's other ways to say what you want to say, right? Okay. I don't know if it's the weather or what. I just gotta like I gotta chill out. Okay. So I'm gonna look for my glasses. All right. But it looks kind of like a similar-ish vibe to yesterday, where it's like getting on with business. And here we go. So we have the King of Swords and the Fool came together. Yeah, like when I look at the King here, you see these like flowers or ivy. Like ivy's like the clinging kind of relationship plant that it's like faithful or like stays at home kind of thing. And I feel like the people he was involved with or is still involved with, but he's like getting out of situations with them. They remember him as the ivy, right? But it's like, wait, he's in a bad mood, right? Like, what's up? What happened to my ivy? Like, is what these people are thinking, right? Because they remember him as being like the king and wings and like kind of good, all the good aspects of what's sort of in the background. Like, that's what was before. But now he's coming at you like, nope, it's over. And I'm pretty sure about myself. And if you come at me with something other than what I'm saying, like, check out the sword I have in my hand. And I'm wearing full chainmail. So I'm completely defended, like you can't touch me. So it's on. Like, masculine is like cutting things out confidently, totally prepared, and is leaving this situation. Like, you can see too, like there's ivy leaves that have fallen on the ground. So he's like cutting these people out, and it could be like friends, family, relationships, like friends with benefits, like whatever kind of people of the internet, whatever it is, cutting it out. And he's determined, he's by himself, and he's coming forward because he wants to have this experience of just moving forward without the baggage of the past, with faith into a new beginning. The crystal cards, we have self-love. That makes sense with what we just saw. Rose quartz. I approve of myself and love myself deeply and completely. And like, you have to love yourself to kind of be strong enough to do what you feel is right for you, and if it's necessary, cut people out that are no longer part of your story or helping you along your path to freedom and fulfillment. We also have life purpose. That totally makes sense too. Amazonite. I am fully aligned to and living my life purpose. And, it takes some self-love to go, you know what? Like, regardless of what the pressures are on me or what I've been doing in the past, I love myself enough to take my life purpose seriously and move forward with it. And if somebody's got questions about that, they can come and ask me. I think I know the answer. Okay. So, what do we got here? Thanks to everybody for tuning in and subscribing. And it's nice to spend this time with you. I can't see you with my eyes, but I can feel your presence. So we have from my deck the number 1. So it's like thinking about a new beginning, thinking about the person that's important to you, awareness of masks having been worn, and it's like fakery and awareness of something. Like, okay, there's like when I think I can't wear my glasses, but okay, in order to release something or heal from something, first you have to be aware of what it is, right? So sometimes, like, let's say you're going around feeling like bad all the time or angry, like a subconscious anger or something like that, or a subconscious desire, but you're not really like looking at it on a day-to-day basis, but it's like bubbling up in you. And yeah, so sometimes the only way to release that or embrace it, depending on if it's good or bad, is to just, like, without judgment, just go into that space where you feel that energy is in your mind and just experience it fully. Like, let it give you all its information, its pictures, its feelings, its everything. Just sort of sit with it and experience it. Let it speak to you. And only in totally like acknowledging it can you then release it, because you're like, I truly know what this is. There's no more mystery. I've sat with this thing. It's taught me what it needs to be taught. And yeah. So whether it's like pain that you've endured in the past or things that are pushing you forward that you don't totally comprehend, like maybe you're shy, but you feel like, oh, I'm supposed to be a broadcaster, or whatever it is. You just have to sit with it and let it really speak to you, and you'll understand maybe more how it will evolve and what your role is in it and what role faith plays in it, that things will meet you when you go halfway towards it, right? So just like realizing like, oh, like maybe the masculine's realizing like maybe I've been wearing a mask and I've not been going towards my soul purpose. And other people, like, because there's 2. So maybe other people are also being fake, and it's not serving them. It's not serving me or that other person to pretend anymore that we're like doing the right thing or that this relationship is working, or, stuff like that. Because it could be a relationship, it could be a project or work or whatever. But right now, it's the time to love yourself enough to move forward with your life purpose, and that means like dropping the masks so you can go after your new beginning, like what's important to you, what's most important to you. And That's going to require being like more calm than you normally are. Sometimes, like, I can be guilty of being too chatty, which is maybe why, like, I've created this YouTube channel to talk. But it's like, I can be like that too. And I think sometimes it would be advisable for me to be more like this. But there's a certain like gathering of energy and purpose that a cat has while they're quiet. It's not like nothing time. You're not wasting time. You're like gaining power, and they like leap forward, or they do whatever they're gonna do with like exact kind of ninja ability. So you're gonna have to be in this energy of observation and stillness, so that when the time comes, you can strike, you can leave, or you can like make the communication you need to do, or go after the thing you want to go after. Like in it, some people might think it's a bit sneaky because they're like not used to you being like this. They're used to like flowers and sunlight and whatever less direct energies, the stuff that's in the background, but it's like now it's come time to cut things out, and things are going to fall down as a result. And in order to accomplish this, so you can like move forward and stuff, looks like some of the advice is to gather your energy without like wasting it here and there with like a bunch of people, and then pouncing like at the thing that you truly want. And that means also making a plan for a date, actually spending time with, like actually holding the hand of, and taking the feminine out somewhere nice, remembering it, like making it a nice memory, and enjoying aspects of the feminine energy, and enjoying like that friendship bond that you have in a physical way. Because perhaps being, together is part of your life purpose. It's kind of, because it's like, let's continue and see what else is cooking here. All right. What's this card? The Queen of Swords. Yeah, so we got the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So it's possible, since we have like two people here in the reading, that both the divine masculine and feminine are taking no prisoners at this time. It's kind of like she's showing off for prospective partners, and she's being viewed maybe like on a screen, or viewing prospective masculines like on the screen, and like showing herself in a romantic light, like with the candle. And it may be like a bit like not her usual style, like it might feel more formal or forced to be presenting herself in this manner, and trying to assess like, well, who's this guy now? Like, who's this warrior like that I could potentially be with? Because at the moment, like, she's alone, and but she's like in an aggressive state where she's like presenting herself to various possible romantic partners. Okay, But I'm going to look up the definition of this card according to the makers of this deck. The magic of the black candle. Solitude is not death. An undesired partner must be sent away, even at the cost of breaking your own heart. Yeah, well, I mean, that really echoes what he's been doing too. It's like sometimes you guys say sayonara to a relationship that wasn't working, even if they're worthy in the eyes of the world as a partner, even if at one time you valued them more as being like perfect for you in some way. You gotta cut them out of your thing. Just gonna look at that one more time. We had some sunny days and now it's raining. But I guess like stuff has to grow, so water is part of that. So I shouldn't get too mad about it. Okay. Yeah, so right. An undesired partner must be sent away, even at the cost of breaking your own heart. Yeah, so it might be painful to say goodbye to, like for the masculine, say goodbye to an old partner they're used to. But you can't like date a million people at once, and you gotta like clear the track so that you can have this like to move forward without any baggage, so that you can go towards your life purpose, which, you know, seems that there has been some realization that like this partnership before was not part of your life purpose. Maybe it served its purpose for a time. It got you from A to B, but now you want to go to B to C. And it's going to be hard to say bye to this person. Maybe they're very resistant to being said goodbye to. So you have to kind of be firm and protect yourself and be like, know that you guys were being fake and that you need to be like the cat and just be like, I'm going to gather my strength and then get out. We have 4 more cards left. So now the masculine is like wanting to bring like heaven to earth, like bring this relationship into reality. He has an awareness of like how everything kind of fits together now, and he's able to say like, listen, regardless of what's happened and all the forces that are going on around, whether there are regrets or this or that, it's like, I know instinctively that there's something good there, and I'm going to draw that down and bring it into earth. Like, I'm going to make this real with my willpower and my faith that this good thing exists. And that's going to start some talking, like a lot of talking about what matters. And some of that might happen over the computer or like devices and stuff. And that conversation is going to give a vague picture of what they're after. But in reality, their image of like what they want is like it's crystal clear. But they might be a bit shy to reveal just how much they've how mature that concept of the relationship is to them. Because now they feel protective. Sometimes the Four of Cups is like moving on. I'm going to look at the definition of that one. I don't want to be like just saying whatever. And yeah, because there's been some battling of wills that's been going on, and like someone's got to take charge, right? You can't just like let this go on forever. Like it's like, nope, I'm making a decision because I want to break free. So I'm gonna have to be this guy because I've come to the realization that this relationship is come to its end. And I don't feel like he's even, like, they don't even feel like they're two people in a room. Like, it feels kind of cold, and it's like, I see who you are now. And I'm not feeling that kind of like passion for you anymore, because I feel like we're just like wearing masks here. So I'm gonna have a quick peek at this little book. Okay, Eight of Swords. Where are you? Okay. All right. So first we'll do the Eight of Swords. Excessive force applied to small things, too much attention to detail at the expense of principles and more important points, malice, pettiness, domineering, great ease in some things, countered by equal disorder in others, impulsive, equally fond of giving or receiving. Yeah, so clever, acute, selfish. So it's like this. The communication might be like, come off as harsh and petty, or like impulsive. So there's the communication that's going to come forward is going to be of an impulsive nature, but you can't like get like to, at least there's some communication. Because my feeling at the beginning of the reading and on other days is that the masculine is not that great at communicating in the first place. So impulsive or not, it's still them stepping forward after silence. So, okay. So then we have the Four of Cups. Success or pleasure approaching their end, the good with the bad, stationary period and happiness, swiftness, hunting, pursuit, acquisition by contention, injustice. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so in the case of this relationship that had been going on for a while, where people were being like wearing masks and still hanging out with each other, but feeling like two-dimensional about it, you know, that relationship has kind of run its course, and it's like there's the urge to break free of that, because there's the sort of stagnancy has been acknowledged now, and then so now it's like time to cut that out and make some impulsive communication around that, so that you can like bring down what you see in your dreams and visions and in your heart that you know is true despite appearances, that you can draw that down and make it real so that you can have this brand new start. There's also the Seven of Wands. I'm just going to look at that. It's like hard to find this stuff. All right, I'm getting there. Victory, valor, advantage, gain, overcoming opposition. Well, that's good. So, yeah, by drawing down what's important to you, like by overcoming the opposition, you're going to be able to have that peace to draw down what's important to you, because you realize like things were stagnant and you need to impulsively communicate that to deal with it, because you don't want to be like living this life. You don't want to always feel like this guy, but you have to be for the time being to get rid of the situation so that you can then be like this character, feeling free in yourself and unburdened and in faith on the right path with your number one coming together. So I hope you enjoyed that reading. It's like, it's not always fun to step up and like own your power and bring things down, but at the same time, it's the best thing ever, because getting to know yourself, it's like that. It's like the oracle at Delphi said, know thyself. Like that's your greatest power. And sometimes it means taking some time to get to know yourself, being more still and not like running around doing everybody's bidding. And it's not like you don't always want to put on your to-do list like, be this guy, like communicate strongly and take on your foes, whether they are stagnancy or false relationships. And it's not like fun, and you may have your heart broken a bit because you've been used to holding a certain kind of frequency transmission, with this person and it's sort of like unplugging the radio and there's no music and you're like, what? But you kind of have to have that moment of silence. You have to have kind of nothing in order to move forward unburdened. So don't fear the unfamiliar, and don't fear being alone with yourself for a time, because knowing yourself is the best thing for you and the best thing for everybody else, because like you don't want to always rely on other people to tell you who you are and what your potentials are, because you always have a better idea yourself. That's interesting to see yourself through the eyes of others, but it's not really like the place from which you should be making your decisions, because it's between you and your maker, and whether you want to call that source energy or universe or the creator or God, like whatever. Yeah. So just please don't be afraid of stepping into your power, and know that like it's not a bad thing to do. And you learn a lot about the other people you're speaking to when you're doing that, because it's like, well, maybe you've never seen them speak to you in that way, or it confirms that you're doing the right thing, like whether they act like, for instance, like I've met some new people recently, and then some people can come on strong and like really enthusiastic, and just as quickly they can like pull back and just be kind of gone. It's like, okay, like what was that? And it's good to see people kind of play out their personality over a little bit of time, even if it's like a day or whatever. It could be longer, but it's really interesting to just see that dynamic at play too. And the wind is really howling. It makes it seem like a Edgar Allan Poe novel or something outside. But so okay, it's like major space out happening right now. But yeah, sometimes it's not the worst thing to bring up a difficult subject with someone, because it reveals a lot about like the status of your friendship or relationship with them, and it can actually like confirm that you're on the right path to be like stepping away from it. Or if you say something to someone and it makes them flee, it's like, well, it might feel painful at first, but it's like, well, okay, like that wasn't a stable energy in my life, so okay, bye. And so it's kind of like doing you a huge favor to see those things play out and to not take them too personally, because everybody is dealing with their own thing, and you're basically never, or I feel like this, I don't know if it's true, but it's rare to find someone who's like at your exact same stage, or yeah, like whatever kind of consciousness or that you're in right now. It's pretty rare to find someone who's like vibing on the same thing. Exactly. So yeah, so don't fear stepping forward and being this character, because it's like it's really gonna reveal like what masks were being worn, and to just like observe that and go like, okay, which way do I want to pounce now? Like I just feel like there might be one more thing to talk about. Yeah, like respecting your life purpose is really important. It may seem like a vague notion. It's like, oh, I always thought I would be like a chef or an actor, or whatever. But it's that kind of thing, like you kind of have to follow through with those very strong feelings you have about what your life purpose might be. Like you need to like engage with that thing like somewhat in your life, so that you can discover if it's like the easy ride, like, because sometimes if you're doing the right thing, like everything falls into place and everybody can't wait to help you along your path. Whereas other things just seem like the hardest thing in the world. It's just like, why is it so hard? Like, why can't I achieve anything in this thing that I thought I was supposed to do? It's just like one frustration after the other. But once you're on your life purpose, it's like you're in the fast river and everything is like flowing with you, instead of being in like the stagnant pond. So please don't be afraid at like exploring like what your what you've been inspired to do, or what you feel like a joyful connection with that you've felt like your whole life, and really like take note of that and say like, well, in what way that won't disrupt my stability too much in my life, like in what way can I engage with this thing or start developing these talents that I may have innately. It's kind of like some of the best actors like Marlon Brando or like people like that, like they're not like the most social people ever, like And sometimes like in like acting classes or like growing up or whatever, it was always like the really outspoken kids who were like, I want to be the lead in the play, like I'm going to do this, like you're not confident enough, whatever. But it's like it's not those people that end up becoming like award-winning actors. Sometimes it's like the super shy person who's so observant about like what people do when they're feeling this way or that way, and then they're able to pull that out like in a scene, and it's like really moving and powerful. And anyway, so don't think that just because you're not what people imagine like a person that would do this thing would be like doesn't mean that you're not perfect for it. Yeah, it's more just about like shining your light, sharing your talents, and following your life purpose with faith. So I just hope you have the courage to like sense what your dreams are and have faith that like even if everything seems to point like in the other direction in the 3D life, if you feel that this thing exists and it feels good and it's not harming anyone, and you know it's like a beautiful vision of what life could be, then really like tune into that and bring it into your reality, like by acknowledging it and making space for that thing to exist. And once you make space for it, like it can come in, you know? All right. I hope you have a really good day, and I hope tomorrow is sunny. And I'm gonna leave my email in case anybody wants to like contact me for a healing session or psychic reading. What I like to do is do like a 1 hour or 2 hour distance healing where I kind of just like fix everything I can possibly repair for you and like bring in the best possible energy, and then give you psychic feedback about like everything I saw and did. And then we can talk about it later. That's generally what I do. People always feel good after and more connected with their life purpose and stuff. And you learn about your strengths, and we see things from like a higher perspective together. So it gives you more courage and oversight to like move forward with the important things in your life. So it's like really fun and rewarding work to do. And yeah, so I'll put my email there if anybody is seeking that. Okay. All right, take care. Bye.